So we're going to simplify some radical expressions. Start off by rewriting this first one, the cube root of negative 216. So I can rewrite this as negative 216 to the 1/3 power. And what I'm looking for is some number. Multiply that number by itself 3 times. And that'll be the answer to the cube root of negative 216. So I want something that's raised to the 3rd power. That's negative. That's what I'm looking for. In this case, it's going to be negative 6. Negative 6 times negative 6 times negative 6 would equal negative 216. So the answer is negative 6. The 4th root of 81, I could rewrite that as 81 to the 1/4 power. And once again, I'm looking for 4 repeating factors. I'm looking for some number multiplied by itself 4 times in a row. That's going to be the 4th root of 81, and in this case it's 3. Because 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 again is 27, times a 4th factor of 3 would give us 81. 3 is the 4th root of 81. 16 to the 3/2 power, so it's already in rational form, but if I would like to think about it in radical form, I could rewrite this. It's a square root. The index is a 2. Don't have to write the 2, but you can. And I'm looking at 16 as a base, so it's 16 to the 2/3 power. To the 3rd power. So I'm looking for 2 factors that will give me 16 cubed. So I'm just going to break down my base. So I've got a 16 and a 16 and a 16. Here's one pair right here, one pair of 16. So I'm going to pull that one out. And that third 16, that third 16 could be 4 times 4, so I'll pull that pair out. And 16 times 4 is 64. So 64 times 64 times 64 is going to be the same value as 16 to the 3/2 power. And the last one I'm going to do is 32 to the negative 3/5. The negative reminds us that about writing reciprocals. So if you have a negative exponent, really you're considering the reciprocal of the base. So I'll just rewrite it as a reciprocal right now. 1 over 32 to the 3/5 power. And then I'll rewrite the 32 to the 3/5 as a radical expression. You don't have to. It's just a little easier for me to think about it that way. So the 5, that's the index. So I'll be looking for repeating factors of 5. And then the base is 32. Oops. And I'm raising the 32 to a power of 3. So I'm looking for repeating factors, 5 of them all together. 32, I've got 3 32s. 32 times 32 times 32. Well, there's no factor that repeats itself 5 times yet, but I could split up the 32 into 8 and 4. 8 times 4 and 8 times 4. I still don't have 5 repeating factors, but I could split up the 8 and get 2 times 4 And I have the 4 from before, and 2 times 4, and the 4 from before, and 2 times 4, and the 4 from before. And now I have 5 factors of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I still have a 2, and a 2, and a 2, so only 3 of those. But I have this extra 4 over here, and that could become a pair of 2s. So now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2s. And then I don't have any factors left at all underneath that. That radical sign is just the 4 and the 2. They're both outside the radical sign. 4 times 2 is 8. And then I just want to remember that it was 1 over all that radical stuff. So my answer, 32 to the negative 3/5 power, is 1/8.